Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Oh, my arm. It's not that sore at all. It wasn't sore at all yesterday, my arm. And now it's a little bit sore. It was so slight. I felt such a small prick.
You felt such a small prick, did you, darling?
Yeah, such a small prick.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. Morning. Hi, Jenny. Brenda McGee. Sonia Donovan. Sonia Donovan.
Is that other arm, babe?
It's not actually. It's this arm.
Did you have it in that arm?
Yeah, because I used my right arm.
Oh. He's okay.
Yeah.
Are you coping?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, it was a bit chilly a minute ago, weren't you?
I wasn't. It was fucking freezing with the back door open. I'd have been like that if I'd had a jab or not. I came straight in from getting my jab and I did a 45-minute Joe Wicks workout.
He did. Whether that was wise or not, we will never know.
To get it pumping around my body.
He's been saying
Morning,
this for
Tim.
weeks. What I'm going to do is, when I have my vaccine, I'm going to do Joe Wicks and I'm going to pump it around my body.
Did I say it like that? Did I say it like that?
And every time me and the girls went, okay.
Yeah. I did do it, and I haven't woken up in half the pain that you and Lisa did.
I haven't got
I
any
keep
pain in
referring.
my arm.
Of course, you haven't seen the vlog yet.
I've not had any pain in
What's all
my
that pain in your
arm.
arm? You were holed up. You were in
Darling,
bed.
I wasn't well.
I know, but this idea that
But I don't
how
have
is
man
it that
flu.
men have man flu, but if a woman's ill, she's ill?
Because that's the way of the world. We
Rubbish.
give birth.
You two were
Try
totally
birth.
bleating
Try
idiots.
birth. Try birth.
No, it's not
Do you
about
remember
birth.
Were you at the birth?
Why do you keep mentioning
Well, that's
birth? Why do
why
women
when we
always
say
default to birth?
we're ill, we're really ill because we know what really
Why
ill
do
is like.
women always go straight to birth?
Because you can't step away from birth.
You were still pathetic when
Period
you had
pains.
your when you had
Period
your jab.
pains. Period pains.
When you had your
so
jab,
bad
you
that
were
they
on
make
the
me pass out.
Weren't you? Oh, I can't. Oh, no,
Do you
no,
remember me
no,
giving
no,
birth
no.
to your children?
Of course I do, and I
Do you think you
it's
could
a
have
different
done
discussion.
it? Do you think
no,
you could?
it's
No,
a
it's
different-
not a different
it is a
discussion.
different
You
discussion.
said to me, why is it that when men are ill, women are ill, they're ill, and when men
Why
are
did I
It's
say
because-
get a pregnancy outfit for me to give birth so that I could find out
Oh,
what it
don't
was like
kick
to
that
have
off
birth?
again because I'm trying to do it, and you know what you're going to do now.
Well, there
You're
you
doing
go.
a die.
You raised a bull. You raised a.
No, you didn't.
What did you
This
raise?
doesn't take me away from the fact at all
I
that
haven't
men
disputed.
have man flu.
I have not disputed that men cannot meet women in the giving birth.
No, but you
department.
asked me a very direct question. You said, why do we have to believe women when they're not well, but we don't men? It's because when we say we're ill, believe you me, we are, because we go through so much more
And I
with our
haven't
bodies.
said I'm ill, so why am I being accused of man flu? I don't understand the fight. I've got up, I did a Joe Wicks, I'm chipper, I'm moving about, I'm doing. What's the fucking problem?
It's true, actually. You haven't said you've got
You
man
tell him, Nadia. Look, women are just jumping on board Alison Stockley. Tell him what?
Well, we know you're going to have man flu at some point.
Bloody hell.
You're definitely going to have man flu.
Poor guy, thank you whoever said that. Alice Cooper, I'd keep quiet. Morning, just sat down with a pot of tea to watch this. Well, there you go. Man flu city. Except there's no man flu here. I'm going to let Cheech in. Do you let Cheech in? Because I feel a bit
Yeah, because you're a bit
tender.
chilly.
No, I just can't be arsed. And you never get up to let dogs in. Hi, everyone.
Are you fucking joking?
Do you want to fight?
The amount of times I get up to let the dogs in.
Faith Goodman says I need Nutella and raisins. Oh, don't.
Don't encourage
I
him.
could use today as a really easy excuse just to do what the hell I want, re-food, but I
I
haven't.
did the day after I had my vaccine.
Did you?
I had McDonald's.
Did you? Why did you have to put that thought in my head?
Listen, I cooked you a gorgeous Wagamama's yesterday.
I'm not
Great-
dis-
No, but
You're
you did.
changing the arguments. Talking about you having McDonald's isn't about me not having had a lovely meal last night. Where's this female logic?
Because
You start a fire over there and you then take me to it.
Because you had lovely food.
I didn't say I didn't.
Because you went, ugh. Like,
About the day after, you're not last night. Can you hear how? Look, this is what. You're only here.
Don't be difficult.
Oh my God.
He's being so difficult. What is wrong with you? If you're new to our channel, hit the subscribe button. Or maybe you wouldn't want to, because maybe you wouldn't want to see this shit again. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I don't know why you've been so difficult this morning already.
Yeah.
I love it when you're speechless. It's so rare. That was unnecessary.
What's wrong with you? The jab changes you. It certainly has. Yeah. A homemade Wagamama by Nad sounds a lot better than a McDonald's.
It was.
Yeah. Zoe, don't pile in.
Yeah, thanks, Zoe.
I wasn't saying it
wasn't. It was a
wasn't.
better meal. Why are you complaining?
I wasn't talking about last night. What?
I just think you're not catching up with the conversation at all. You don't know what's
patronise
going
me.
on.
Don't patronise me.
You don't know what's going on,
Yes,
do
I
you?
do. I know exactly
what do you
what's
think's
going
on.
You're
What is
behaving
going
like
on?
a total twat.
What is actually happening here?
I'm having a heart attack. What is actually going on here?
Exactly, I told you. There you go. I told you. I said you didn't know what was going on, and now
Because you don't know
it.
what's going on. You've just kicked all the dust in the air and it's all complete chaos. Oh.
Morning, everyone.
I wasn't going to say anything. What, did you read something out?
Deborah Holsworth's having a vaccine today at 12. Good luck, Deborah. And either have a Wagamama's homemade or a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Depending on how good or bad your treatment is after your vaccine. If you've got somebody to look after you. I was alone all night when I was ill. I was so thirsty. And
Right, okay. So I go to sleep last night thinking, oh God, I'm going to be in for one on if it's anything like Nadia's. Wake up at 2 o'clock with her coughing incessantly.
Honestly, it was such a bad cough.
Waking me up repeatedly. So then I got up, I
thought
went
I
out,
had
went into
bloody
another room.
COVID.
And then I got this most terrible stomach that I was just rolling. I'm tired. I'm nothing other than tired. Wind up Mark Day, says Stacey 269. No shit.
Look, Jenny Fay had a McDonald's on the day of her vaccine
It
as
went
well.
went straight through me.
So everybody, I think quite a few of you joined us last night after the Kate Garraway documentary. That I actually woke up this morning thinking about her and her family. I mean, it really went in deep. That.
Oh yeah, it was really powerful.
It really, really was.
Really powerful.
I was doing a live this morning with my friend Kaz, and everybody was talking about it then as well. I think it's just, and so, God, so even more meaningful that it was a year to the day of the lockdown. Yesterday was a year to the day, wasn't it? And as you really rightly put, and we discussed all of us last night, you know, it was a really important film because it reminds us of the thousands of people actually that are dealing, or educated us on what thousands of people are dealing with. Obviously, Derek's case is very extreme, but you just look at that. The nurse who was actually described as having mild COVID and the impact it had on her life. And as you said, you know, when we're all rushing and to get back to our lives and get back to, you know, our normal, there's a lot of people just left in the wake of this horror.
Yeah.
They may never recover.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Dorney here, you've
really struggled.
You've really struggled, you know, long COVID, and you've had a really shit year. So
I think it's
it was a good moment to remember.
I think it's just a reminder as well that we as human beings and as creatures, we operate on calendars and times and seasons, and you know, this is the start of the summer. So, and there are certain expectations that socially we've all come to accept because that's life, isn't it? But you know, a documentary like last night reminds you that something like this is it doesn't respect these artificial constructs. No. It's just, you know, how is Derek going to... I mean, the bit that really haunted me this morning, or stuck with me, not haunted me, but stuck with me this morning as I woke up, was the way in which Kate was throwing herself into the minutiae of the sort of preparations for his return home and the acceptance of a new life. I mean, you know, it's not just that... It's like, you know, in many regards, people will be like, brilliant, he's home, and I'm sure she'll feel this. And then in a sense, at the moment that he's home, it's not that it gets forgotten, but there can't be the same amount of focus on it, and then it becomes a new normal. And that's the new normal. And I think that's the bit that I'm always just wanting to say to people, be compassionate for others' new normals, because they're not going to be a return to normal for many.
As Rachel Keeler says, it puts worries about holidays, restaurants,
Yeah,
etc. into
exactly.
perspective. Some would just love to be out of the woods.
Exactly.
And you know, that really, I found it very,
That's
so
a really good point,
upsetting
Rachel.
right at the end when they said, a bit of text came up at the end. A lot of people didn't see it, and it was that the doctors have extended the option to keep Derek in hospital till December 21. And does that mean that that's what they're imagining is going to be needed? But anyway, I just thought it was, wow. I mean, just what a woman. God.
Yeah.
It's like I said last night, I think it was a love story. It was very painful and upsetting to watch, but at the same time, it was really a story of marriage and love and commitment and family as well. So.
Francesca Bastos, I know all that, but I lost 100% of my livelihood. I'm going crazy. Studied for 21 years for 5 constant years. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Francesca, that we shouldn't all be rushing back to what we need.
Yeah.
And one thing I think we've said an awful lot on this channel, and we've really sort of reaffirmed, I think, quite a lot, is the idea that everyone's circumstances and needs are specific to them. And that if you're struggling with something that to someone else doesn't look as worrisome to someone else as someone else.
Still your experience.
It's your
still
experience.
valid.
You can't be anyone. I mean, there's this strange perception sometimes in social circles and social media and what have you. This idea that you can somehow be more than one person in your experience of things. You are only having your experience. You can only be
and
inside
everyone's
your own
experience
head.
is absolutely valid.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're saying, you know, not for a minute are we saying, God, everybody else's experience is now nothing in comparison.
Not at all.
But it's just that, it's just the artificial sort of stuff, the froth that we're looking for. Of course, livelihoods and our relationships and all of those are, you know, it's devastating for all of us in our different ways. But the froth, the restaurants and the holidays and that sort of stuff, when we're getting so frustrated about it, it's just a salutary reminder that...
Yeah, because even in the froth of restaurants and all that going back, for the people who work in those restaurants, it's not froth, it's their livelihood.
Exactly,
So it's all about perspective.
It's not.
Yeah. Reese Roberts, there's no monopoly on suffering. I totally agree, Reese. Zoe Agnew, every circumstance is different and every feeling is valid. Absolutely. And a kite, just because the person next to us is in a full body cast, it doesn't mean our broken leg doesn't hurt. As my granddad always said, we're better off than some and we're worse off than others. You're forever in the middle of a chart. You're never at the top, you're never at the bottom, you're always somewhere in the middle. And there's always someone worse off than you and there's always someone better off than you. And it's important to remember that, I think.
Mark, have you seen these photos that Charlotte Rickman is talking about, that Michelle
not
has
at all.
forwarded?
No.
I'll
Not
ask
at all.
Michelle, Charlotte. I haven't seen this.
No.
I'll ask her.
The best bet is if you send whatever they are to Michelle and Michelle then forwards them to...
No, that's what she said. She said she has put them to...
I mean, if they're those inappropriate ones of her circa something or other, probably not.
being an idiot.
They might not have got forwarded on by Michelle.
Oh, Francesca, that's awful. Insomnia. Oh. I really feel for you.
Yeah,
God, I
that's
don't know
right.
how people cope. Since I've been taking my HRT, my sleeping is so deep. It's so good.
Yeah. Louise Jones, it was so sad and heartbreaking. Makes the Harry and Meghan documentary look like a comedy.
Yeah.
Poor Harry and Meghan, maybe they should watch Kate's documentary and stop moaning. Well, again, you know, in a weird way, it's that sort of, yes, I mean, we've all got our very, very strongly formed opinions on whether they should or shouldn't have done the interview. But, you know, even Harry and Meghan have their own experience, you know, but I get your point. I mean, there's nothing more contrasting in terms of what we've been through than seeing Kate Garraway. And I thought she dealt with it, you know, she's remarkably stoic and there was not a moment, no, she almost, I was worried for her in a way because it felt like there wasn't even a shred of a moment for her to stop and consider how things are for herself.
She has up us too as
No,
well.
no, but
to go to work.
do you know what I mean? There was
imagine
no-
how exhausted she is.
But if you have that degree of a lack of sort of self, you know, I just worry where the cost. I'm with 100% with Ben Shepherd in that. You know, it's like it will come out at some point, and you can't force these things. It's about, you know, she has to do what she does to cope. But I worry, you know, where all that feeling will be going. It's just so heartbreaking. Gratitude, Gabrielle, absolutely. And of course, as we rightly say, it came on a day of remembrance. We took a little candlelight out last night, and you know the world just stopped and thought, and it's another one of those days where, yeah, bloody hell, a year, man. Can you? Okay, do you actually believe it's happened now?
I'm still a bit in shock. I still have moments where I go, oh my God, this is... And a year, because in a way it feels like a minute. And maybe that's because we're all still shocked. And in another way it feels like forever. It's very strange.
Do any of you guys, do you ever, if you stop, I mean,
I do,
obviously
me
we
too.
know
I
we're
think the
going
year's
through it.
flown by. I
Yeah,
really
me
do.
too, yeah. Do you feel, have you got a grip on what's actually happened yet? Yes or no? Do you have a sort of real grip on what's happened? Whether, even if you think it's been overblown and it's been an overreaction, do you feel that you've
Lots
got
of people
any...
saying it doesn't feel real.
No.
Feel numb. Well, that is what shock is, isn't it? That's how it... There's a it's a kind of warped reality. Sometimes I feel like it's all been a dream. I still feel like sometimes
Sarah
I'm going to wake
Elliott,
up.
it hasn't sunk in yet.
No, it hasn't.
Fully dull, no, because it's not over. Yeah, and again, that's a really important point. It's not over, and I think we are all hooked on these anniversary events, aren't we? I mean,
It's like a bad movie.
it's like, it's funny because yesterday I was thinking, oh right, it's been a year. This is a year. When I was sort of writing the title for yesterday's Coffee Morning, I was thinking a year of lockdown. I was thinking, well, it hasn't been a year of COVID, has it? Because COVID was in China way before then, and then you begin to realise, actually, what is this year thing? Just because it's a year, we're all wanting it to be that's the marker. Change. Oh, no, it hasn't changed. We're in exactly the sort of similar position as we were before. Except we're not, because we've got vaccines and we've got a roadmap. I can't work out if I'm sensing that people are very weary even about the roadmap. Are people weary about it?
People hate the word.
Do they?
But I think because it feels like at any moment it could be ripped from under our feet.
Do you think people are suspicious? Are you suspicious, guys? Are you worried that it's going to change at the last minute or something? Because, I mean, I think is it not next Monday? You're going to have 6 people in your garden?
Yeah, somebody there just said that the serious thing is it feels like normality now.
Yeah.
Tutti fruit
Tutti
does,
fruit. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So many people saying it just doesn't feel...
The roadmap is iffy.
I mean, the government's roadmap, Alicia McFall. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all just waiting all the time for... I mean, listen, they were really honest. They said, this is a roadmap that we are going to move along 5 weeks at a time. And at each 5 weeks, we will regroup, we will rediscuss, we will reinterrogate the data. So they've done a good job, and it'll be our fault if we forget that, of saying to us, just don't get your hopes up.
Reese Roberts says the third wave is a big concern that's being downplayed.
Well, I wish they would talk to us more about it.
I wish they'd be honest with us. Yeah, I mean, Chris Whitty was quite dour, wasn't he, yesterday?
I didn't see him.
Well, he wasn't at the briefing, but there was a lot of news flow coming from him saying that, we've got bumps in the road. And
the old bumps in the road. Well, maybe I didn't.
Twists and turns and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, I can understand we don't want to hear it, but you kind of have to hear it.
We know we've got bumps in the road. And we've got huge, great craters as well. I mean, because of the variants.
I mean, the problem for me is for as long as the global problem exists, presumably, from a global travel perspective, there is the constant risk of reinfection, isn't there, or a variant taking off. I mean, that's the problem with it. So, what did we think of Boris Johnson's use of the word greed? What did we think of Boris Johnson's use of the word greed?
Just to tell you, we're facing this way.
What do you think of the Boris Johnson's use of the word greed to describe to describe the pharmaceutical companies? I thought it was off the back of, I think it was bad timing. I think it was Boris Johnson's greedy jab firms. He risks inflaming the EU vaccines war last night by saying it was greed, my
we
friends.
did say it last night.
Behind our vaccine success. Yeah,
Capitalism. Oh, God. And I've defended you yesterday against I defended you against the WHO. And you've said something like that.
He was hailing the efforts of Big Pharma in manufacturing the life-saving jab. Boris has spent days trying to dial down the rhetoric and pleading with European leaders. He told the MPs at the 1922 committee, the reason we have the vaccine success is because of capitalism, because of greed, my friends.
And then he later added, actually, I regret saying it. Forget I said it. He said that repeatedly to people. Can you forget I said it? I said to Mark, what that is he spoke in the way that he would speak when he was round the table with his friends after a couple of bottles of red wine. It was greed, my friends, it was greed.
It's so the wrong word. So the wrong word to use off the back of grotesque from the WHO.
I wish I hadn't defended him now.
So the wrong word.
So vociferously.
It's so the wrong word. I mean, I think a lot of people can be free thinking enough to say the vaccine is the way out. You've also got to bear in mind that these big pharmaceutical companies are pharmaceutical companies, and we've trusted them. We are trusting them. We trust that they are doing what's right for us all. That's what we've all signed up to, and we're all trusting.
Even though that goes against...
And it goes against a lot of people's, including ourselves originally. It's like, okay, well, all right, we'll trust you on this because this is a needs-must situation. And then you have a phrase like that. I didn't realise, from what you said, I saw the story, I thought you said it was a Zoom chat that you'd had a while back or something. But that's not a good choice of words, is it? God, that's rather frustrating. I was fascinated by this, not by the story, the Suez Canal, which I always remember coming up in the 70s. It could be blocked for 2 days after a huge container turns over, but they could see this from space.
Oh.
Isn't that mental? You could see it from space. A big story that is breaking, and I want to flag this up, is there's a story in the Times today. If you've listened to our Confessions of a Modern Parent, coming out of the Sarah Everard story and situation, which was last week's, it's still there. It's the most recent one. I think we can't talk too much about, unfortunately, the phrase is rape culture within our schools, and I think it has to be talked about. Because the London Oratory School has now been accused of fostering what's called a rape culture. This is flagging up quite a lot at a lot of private schools. And sadly, a lot of the schools that, in a sense, feed the highest sort of echelons of society, whether it be government or, the financial markets and all that kind of stuff. All of the poshest people, all the richest people, the most privileged people, these schools are being buffeted with all sorts of accusations of attitudinal problems amongst their students and their children.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, no, I mean, we won't share it in extreme detail, but the stories are quite horrific. And so another school's come up today. And I just think it's really important that this debate doesn't go away. I think it's really important that it doesn't go away because, change has to happen. And what that change is to be debated massively as to how we can change societal attitudes to women. But this idea that it isn't there, you have to, where are these kids getting it from?
Yeah, people just going, la, 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 la.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do with this, so let's just pretend it's not happening.
So someone somewhere standing by and saying to these young boys, it's all right to be like this. And so whoever those people are, it might not be active encouragement, but even turning a blind eye is wrong. And that's the Orange Gems. If you go to the Times, I don't want to share them; they're too explicit here. But there's a lot, and there's a couple of there are a couple of anonymous Instagram accounts, aren't there, that are safe places, if you like, for people to anonymously
Everyone's invited.
report. Everyone's invited. We talked about it in the Sunday show. It was in the paper. I think this is a problem that is so deep rooted in society that even many girls who are on the receiving end of it aren't even aware, to some degree, of how bad it is, because there's a sort of Stockholm syndrome that's kind of gone in, and I think just secondhand, I've heard stories where girls have doubled down on, say, a girl has been maltreated by someone, they've doubled down on the girl rather than the boys.
Yeah.
This is a real problem.
Yeah.
This is a real problem. And it's just something that it's one of the top trending stories today, and I just think it's something that we should all be informed about. But we talk about that a bit on our confessions.
And Faith, thank you for being part of our community. Thank you. Faith,
Faith, good,
thank you for, you're always there.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you for being here, and you're always informed, and you introduced me to John Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's this?
More people arrested in Bristol last night.
Is that them arrested or protesting?
No, they're protesting.
Protesting.
I mean,
peaceful.
yeah. Protesters say the police began charging on horses at peaceful demonstrators, unnecessarily escalating the situation, but officials maintain they used proportionate force.
Well.
Yeah, it's going to be a constant to and fro, he say, you say, we say, she say. But yeah, that's where we're at today. In terms of the news, I mean, and obviously there's a constant sort of bumbling issues around whether summer holidays can happen for 2021. That seems to be constantly coming up. But obviously everyone's minds are on escape, aren't they?
Yeah, but we don't want to escape and bring variants back.
I just
Stay
love Jonathan
home.
Van Tam. His best line that he's delivered in recent weeks, apart from looking like he could rugby tackle you to the floor. But don't you think? He's just like, flick him out. You want him on your team, don't you? Jonathan Van Tam, come on, mate. Was when he said, let's just do it really well once. He said it so, let's just get out of this really well. Once.
Because we can't go back again.
And I love that line. I love that line. Let's just get out. Oh, John Lewis closing 8 more stores, another 1,500 jobs gone. So it's just broken on the LBC News app.
It's not good.
What is the high street going to look like, guys? They're going to say that non-essential shops can open, but then nothing's going to be able to open.
Sally O'Sullivan, welcome a new subscriber. Welcome, Sally O'Sullivan.
Welcome, Sally
Welcome,
O'Sullivan.
Sally O'Sullivan. Welcome, Sally O'Sullivan. Welcome, Sally O'Sullivan.
Oh, she's just removed her message.
O'Sullivan.
Maybe we should rewind. Maybe she doesn't want us to welcome her now.
Guys, please hit the thumbs up underneath this little video if you've enjoyed spending time with us, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because then you can always be told when we are live.
Now, all being well, and I don't suddenly succumb to the vagaries of man flu, suddenly, and my arm doesn't get more painful,
If Mark's
there will be a
too
live
ill-
cook-along later.
Not cook along. Cook along means that other people get their ingredients and they cook along with you.
Well, that's
a
kind of
live
what
cook.
it's kind of like a live disastrous cook.
A live cook in the members area.
Yeah.
And what day is it?
I wasn't
Tuesday.
Emma. I wasn't sick last night. No.
If Mark is up to it, I will be doing a meal in minutes to go on the main channel. If
Boom.
Mark is up to it.
Boom, boom, shakalaka,
But
boom.
he's- but he's-
And I know that we're
but
a
he's
week.
not very
we're a
well.
week. I am. We're a week overdue with a vlog, so I know I need to get one of those out too. So hopefully that'll be landing soon too. Lots of love, guys. Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Stay
See you
safe.
later.
Sandy.